Dear parents, welcome to another episode of Dear Parents. In today's episode of Dear Parents, we again will be looking into some questions which we have received from parents like you and going deep into few of them. So let's begin and see what questions we have had for today. Hey Cyril, can we have the question from the parent?
Hello Vamsi sir, Swati this side. My son's name is Nikhil and he is a very restless boy. He is always unsettled because of the pressure he is facing with NEET preparation. He is very specific about what's troubling him, but lately he has been talking about quitting and saying that he can't take it anymore. So far it is concerning but not been serious because he still studies and attends coaching every day. But I am worried that something will cause him to give up and he will just quit. What can I do to help him continue with his studies? This question was by Swati.
Well, Swati, this is, as I said, a very normal behavior. So first and foremost, my advice to you is don't stress a lot. This is normal. I've seen this happening with countless number of students. You haven't specified the grade of the child, but I'm assuming he must be in grade 11th because I've seen this pattern happening with grade 11 students quite a lot. The reason this happens is in their 10th grade, in which they are used to normal preparation, board examinations. The board examinations level is not that tough. All of that they have been preparing for many years, and suddenly they come into grade 11, wherein they face these competitive examinations, and the level of the questions which are asked in this are obviously of higher level, and the numbers they are also scoring in that is not 80s and 90s. They are less scoring examinations. So as a result of this, it's very normal for a child to get overwhelmed. So this feeling which you have just mentioned in this question is that you are seeing the child getting little stressed. He's talking about the hardness of the preparation. He's talking about quitting. Is all very normal. In fact, let me give you a stat. Of all the people I have seen preparing for JEE and NEET examination, the people who start, let's say 100 of the students start, by 6 months, almost 30 to 40% of them quit. Okay, so we need to look at it from two perspectives. One is it's normal. Second, the concern is genuine, right? And we need to make sure to create an environment and to motivate the child so that he or she doesn't quit. So what do we do for that, right? Let's delve into some of the strategies which I have seen working very well with kids. Since you're talking about NEET, so let me talk about few things which I have seen working very well with the students preparing for NEET. First and foremost, the preparation, when it starts in 11th grade, there are a lot of subjects which they get exposed to. Obviously in NEET it is biology, geology, botany, physics and chemistry. What I have seen is naturally some kids are very good with certain subjects and not very good with others. So the stuff they are good with, they like doing it. So they enjoy it, they get energized while doing it. And the stuff they are not getting good marks, they kind of tend to not do it. They will tend to avoid it. They will try to run away from it. So one of the simple strategies which I have seen working very, very well is if you're seeing this child is stressed out and he's talking about quitting, just ensure that the student is getting more time with subject which he likes and loves. It's a very simple hack. Yeah. So if, let's say for example, your child loves physics, let's say, right? So try to make him do more physics. Okay. And that way he'll find it more enjoyable, he will feel energized, and he'll not really talk about quitting. There's another thing which I've seen, right? Now there are a few subjects which the child doesn't like doing. उसको अच्छा नहीं लगता, right? तो कई बार parents, what I've seen they do is they try to force it on them, right? कि नहीं chemistry, example, chemistry तो करनी ही है. Okay, why are you not studying chemistry? Why do you only keep doing physics? That's a kind of argument which we get, right, from parents. My advice is, although it's well intentioned, I would advise you not to push that very much in the initial stages. Initial stage में हमारा एक ही काम है, मकसद है, to get the child motivated and get the child into the habit of learning and putting in that minimum number of hours. अब वो physics पढ़ने से हो रहा है, तो भी कोई problem नहीं है, right? हमें avoid करना है quitting, and quitting typically happens when the child is overwhelmed, and overwhelming happens because he or she is exposed to the subjects which he doesn't like only. So try doing this. This is one simple strategy and hack. समझो आपके बच्चे को कौन सा सब्जेक्ट अच्छा लगता है and try exposing him more to that. so that he gets into the habit of, I'm studying this. Once the habit is formed, right, and he gets good marks and he gets into the groove, then you can slowly and steadily introduce other subjects. How to do that is a topic for some other day, and I also cover that. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have been able to implement this and seen how it works for your child. Do let us know in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, Cyril, can we have the next question from the parents?
Hi, I'm Neil from Bihar and my son Raghu is in the 12th grade preparing for JEE. I'm concerned about his study planning and I think he won't have enough time left over for revision. Can you please talk about how we should plan for study hours and revision? When should we start revision? How much % of time should be spent on problem solving and how much on theory? This question was asked by Neil.
Well, Neil, there are a lot of questions you have asked in this and they are all very relevant. First and foremost, all the best to Raghu for your upcoming JEE exam. In this question, you have mentioned about that Raghu is in standard 12th. Now, assuming that we are talking about this period of November, around that, October, November. So the way I would advise to think about how is your child preparing for revision and how much time to spend on self-study, how much time to spend on theory, how much time is to spend on application, all of these require some kind of deliberation. So let me take them one by one. First and foremost, if the child is in 12th standard and is somewhere in October and November time period, my first and foremost advice would be not to think about revision at this point of time, but to focus on completing your 12th standard syllabus. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, right? क्योंकि कई बार, and I get it, right? पेरेंट्स को लगता है और स्टूडेंट्स को भी लगता है कि अभी ना 11th का या पीछे का स्टफ छूटा हुआ है तो उसको करना है, वो हम कब करेंगे, and so on and so forth. All those concerns and all very normal, genuine. But what I have seen, and this obviously I am talking from experience of seeing that's applicable and seeing how students have responded to some of these strategies. तो सबसे easiest और simplest strategy जो काम करती है वो ये है कि आप 12th का सबसे पहले syllabus complete करें, okay? और वो depending on where you are going, which place you are studying, उस पर थोड़ा depend करता है. But if you take everything into account, I would say October end, worst case November end तक हो जाना चाहिए, okay? Not later than November end, right? So please इस चीज को ध्यान रखिएगा, right? So you should think about finishing your 12th standard syllabus, okay? If it's happening by October end, great. If it is going till November end, ठीक है, but beyond that उसको मत खींचिएगा, okay? That's the first thing. Till then, don't worry about revision, okay? So that's my answer to your first point of question कि how should I think about revision, how much time to spend on revision. अभी आपको time spend करना ही नहीं है अपने बच्चे को, okay? That's the first point, okay? Let's say आप नवंबर के आगे चले जाते हैं, ठीक है, दिसंबर में आते हैं. So common strategy says that in the month of December, अगर अक्टूबर में हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छा, November and December. If not, let's say in the month of December and Jan, try to quickly go through your 11th standard syllabi. Now यहाँ पर भी बहुत multiple strategies exist करते हैं. This is a more specific answer. I need to really know about the strengths and weaknesses of the child to be able to answer this. But the rule of thumb is don't worry about preparing the whole of 11th. Try to think of what are the strong topics. You can simply take a paper and write it down. ना बच्चे को पता होता है. You can write down. And what are the medium topics and what are the topics which are very bad. Okay. My advice would be, if the strong and the medium topics itself comprise of 60 to 70%, तो आप conveniently ignore कर सकते हो weak topics, right? उसको छोड़ दो जी, right? Only focus on your strong and medium topics and revise them. Okay. This is also important because you have only 1 month, 2 months, depending on when you are finishing the syllabi, to revise. So you can't anyways do 100%. Okay. And in this revision, don't focus on theory. Focus on application. Right? ये important है क्योंकि आपको बोर्ड एग्जाम तो देना नहीं है 11th स्टैंडर्ड का, तो आपको थ्योरी पे इतना फोकस की जरूरत नहीं है. जस्ट वर्क ऑन न्यूमेरिकल्स, वर्क ऑन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, राइट, ऑन योर स्ट्रॉन्ग टॉपिक्स एंड देन मीडियम टॉपिक्स इन दैट ऑर्डर. By 12th, your JEE mains will come, so you obviously are prepared for that. Depending on how it goes, depending on your analysis of it, and that's a very different, ball game altogether. And I'll talk about that in some other, session. बट टिल नाउ अभी के लिए मैं अभी सिर्फ जैन तक फोकस कर रहा हूँ. जैन के बाद क्या करना है इज अ सेपरेट टॉपिक ऑल टुगेदर. सो टिल जैन अगेन रिपीटिंग माई सेल्फ, अक्टूबर एंड तक कोशिश करिए 12th का सिलेबस खत्म हो जाए. नवंबर एंड दिसंबर try to focus on your past topics of 11th. In that also don't need to focus on the whole thing, just focus on the strong and the medium ones. Revise that. Revise not theory that much, focus more on your application and numericals for your 11th standard, right? And then I'm sure the child would be more than equipped to give his JEE mains. So all the best, Raghu. Hope you are able to do this well and get a great score in your upcoming JEE exam. Tell me, Neil, about if the strategy has worked for you and how your child has responded to it. Do let me know what else are the problems which you are seeing your child face, and hopefully we'll address that in future sessions. Thank you. Hey Cyril, can we have the question from the parent?
Hello Vamsi, I don't know why I'm writing to you. I doubt you'll even actually see this. But in case you do, I'm starting to get afraid of my son burning out because of the rigorous preparation he is undergoing for NEET. I'm sure I can't learn as much as the kids do these days, and I don't want him to burn out. I ask him to go out and play, get enough sleep, and get some regular physical activity done, but I don't think it's enough. When I was a child, we didn't care so much about these exams, and I was always a happy child. But times have changed. What can I do to help my son avoid a burnout? P.S. Not going to mention his name because he wouldn't like it if I asked you about him. Thank you. This question was from Joy.
Well, Joy, first of all, thanks a lot for writing to me. And let me assure you, I go through each and every question I receive from parents. Sometimes we might not be showcasing that in a session, but let me assure you all the parents that each and every comment or mail you write to me, we go through each one of them. So please keep them coming. And thanks a lot for bringing this very, very important question to the fore. I think this is a very important question which everyone experiences, but few people like to talk about it. So I'll first start off with actually busting this myth about this whole thing of burnout. So if you feel that burnout is a sign of weakness, and let's accept many of our parents feel that, right? Many of the students also feel that. So they don't even kind of like express that to their parents or even to their teachers or to their friends also, because they feel it's a sign of weakness. They feel that, by saying that, they are kind of showcasing the habit of quitting, or they fear that that will demotivate their parents, or all that kind of stuff which goes in the head. तो यार सबसे पहले तो मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि this is a real problem. Everyone goes through it. In fact, I prepared for these exams. I went through it. I have seen thousands and thousands of kids preparing. Every day I see them preparing. They all go through it. तो first and foremost ना ये चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा normal है. Okay, तो इसको avoid करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. So I really appreciate, I want to really commend Joy for writing this, and so that I can express this and tell to everyone in this world, every parent, that ये normal है. तो आप अपने बच्चे को, आप अपने स्टूडेंट को encourage करिए. अगर वो खुद भी नहीं बता रहे हैं तो भी make sure every once in a week you are sitting with the child and having a very candid conversation about this कि बेटा सब ठीक चल रहा है, कहीं कुछ दिक्कत है, ठीक है, let's just ask that, right? It's very important, बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Okay, so let me come down to the question now कि अब है burnout हो रहा है, let's say you feel that the child is in that state, okay, तो क्या करें? तो again इसमें कोई there's no one easy answer, okay, and again the intent of this answer is not to be comprehensive but just to share some things which I've seen working well with the kids. तो यहाँ पे parents important ये है कि आपको अपने बच्चे की समझ होनी सबसे पहला पॉइंट है. अब ये तो इजी है क्योंकि यू आर पेरेंट्स, ऑब्वियसली यू नो योर चाइल्ड द बेस्ट. सो प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट मेक्स द चाइल्ड रियली joyous, energized. What does he like to do, right? Many a times in 11th and 12th class, especially in 12th standard, okay, 11th में फिर भी I have not seen this happening that much, right? There's a lot of pattern of the child kind of trying to quit and trying to say that मुझसे नहीं होगा, वो होता है, but burnout नहीं होता है. Burnout होता है ज़्यादा 12th में, when the child is really wanting to do it, okay, and but gets burned out, right? Because of हो नहीं पा रहा है, मार्क्स नहीं कम आ रहे हैं, एक्सपेक्टेशन प्रेशर है, whatever, so on and so forth. So 12th के अंदर ना, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट एज अ पेरेंट योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज टू acknowledge it, and then try and have a candid conversation with the child and say that ठीक है, it's not a matter of life and death. So सबसे पहला step है आपको अपना expectation pressure नीचे कर देना. Now you might think that यार मैंने तो expectation कुछ रखा ही नहीं है. But that's what your thinking is, no? The child is not thinking like that. The child might be thinking कि नहीं है expectation pressure, या उसने खुद ही सोच लिया होगा कि नहीं मुझे प्रूव करना है अपने मम्मी पापा को अच्छे मार्क्स लाके and all that stuff, right? So it's not that you have put that pressure. It's just that maybe unknowingly the pressure got built out, and it's your job to ease that pressure. How do you ease that pressure? Just by talking to the child and making sure that you repeatedly tell them that it's not a matter of life and death. It's chill, right? अपने examples दीजिए आप, किसी और के examples दीजिए, right? कोई relative, anyone, like which the child can understand. So first thing, guys, again repeating myself, is to ease the pressure. सबसे पहले pressure ease कर दीजिए, okay? 70-80% of the problem इससे से solve हो जाएगी. और ये repeatedly करना होगा. It's not a one-time thing. It's just like one time you went, did it and forgot about it. No. Please also ensure that you are walking the talk. ये नहीं कि today you are going and saying that beta it's not a big deal, and then tomorrow you are saying marks क्यों नहीं आए. Okay, so there has to be that consistency, okay, in your what you are talking and then what you are also behaving, okay, next day. I would say this is something which would work. The other thing which I've also kind of seen working is, although in your case it doesn't seem to be the truth, but since I'm talking about this as in generic terms, so other parents can also maybe just reflect on this, that I have seen some parents, what they do is typically 11th and 12th में आके ना उनको ऐसा लगता है कि यहाँ तो बस सब serious है, okay, so everything cut out, okay, so no cable, no video games, no cricket, no like whatever outdoor activity, no nothing. And in some, obviously in North India, I've seen this tendency more of dummy school also, so they're not even going to school, so there are no friends, they're nothing. So यार बच्चा कैसे burnout नहीं होगा ना, मतलब तो सोचने वाली बात है. This is again a very big topic about like how to handle school, this and all. I'll probably cover that in some other session. But specific to burnout, you need to reflect on this, that अगर बच्चा खेल नहीं रहा है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, and just study, it doesn't, it's not healthy, it doesn't work like that. So again, here also same thing. You know your child obviously, right? You have seen him like being very happy doing some activities. So I am a big proponent of allowing the child to continue doing that activity. In fact, I have a lot of stories about this. I can share it in some other video, right? In fact, I have a story of my ex-student who got almost like a double-digit rank, I think some 20-ish rank in 𝐴IMS. And he was a very good child. But suddenly I saw the score dipping. And we analyzed it and got to know that the father has stopped him from playing cricket. Can you believe it? कि father was saying that cricket मत खेलो, पढ़ाई में ध्यान दो, तो क्रिकेट बंद हो गया. और 4 महीने में we saw the score of the child dipping. तो हमने उसका क्रिकेट वापस शुरू करवाया. And you won't believe it, within a 3 weeks time, the score got back. Right? And this is a real life example I am telling you. So like this, there can be reasons because of which, avoidance of which is making the child little burned out. So the simple strategy is let the child be. Right? वो time waste नहीं हो रहा है. वो time लगा के the child is getting refreshed, like re-energized. So please think of it as investment. Okay. So my dear parents, this is a very, very important topic. I'm sure there are a lot of things around it. Maybe in some future sessions, I'll talk about this in more depth. But these few things which I just shared with you, please let me know. Please apply it. Please do reflect on it. Have this conversation with your child regularly. That's very important. And do let me know if this was helpful. Do let me know if there are other problems you are encountering around burnout, which I can address. I love to do that. Thanks a lot. So, my dear parents, that's all for the questions for the day. Thanks a lot for tuning in and watching all this stuff. I've been personally super energized over the last few weeks, listening to and reading through all your comments and the amazing stuff you had to write. I'm glad you are enjoying this, and this keeps us motivated to do more of this kind of a content. So, see you soon. Until next time, please take care. This is Vamsi, signing off.